he always have dad jokes, and I couldn't really understand them most of the time.
They mostly resulted in eye rolls, I think, than laughter.
But after you eye roll, you kind of laugh
now.
about it. Hello, leaders, and welcome back to the LeadHer Lounge. Today, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into a topic that Taylor and I think in every workshop, in any facilitation that we do, we talk about the brain and the happy brain chemicals. And we recorded an episode. So go back to episode 18 if you haven't yet. It feels like a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yes, we were recording from
Old studio.
Yes, my living room. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
The old days.
The old days. But we talked about the 4 happy brain chemicals, how to boost them, and the importance to boost them as well. So you can do it as a leader to your team members through some activities, and you can do it for yourself so you can be happier and lower a little bit your cortisol as well. Why not?
Yeah.
So today we're going to dive into 3 of them. We're going to start with, I think, my favorite one, which is the love hormone. And then we're going to dive into some quick activities that we can do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the first activity that we're going to be talking through is actually going to be boosting your oxytocin. So oxytocin, like we said, it's the love hormone, but it also helps build connection and trust between people. So one of the ways that you can do this is through appreciation and recognition. And the activity that I'm going to share can kind of go a couple different ways. I'll share how we've done it on our teams in the past and some other options that you can do it with your team too. But it's just peer-to-peer recognition. So however you want that to go for your team, if you're in person, you can do something as simple as during the first 5 minutes of a meeting, you maybe it's like once a month or something like this. You don't have to do it every day. But you go into your meeting, you sit at your tables, and you recognize the person to your right. And you just share something that you appreciate about that person, obviously making sure that it's intentional and it's not just, Erica's super cool. Like, she's just such a cool person. It's like, cool, but
cool.
Like,
what part
why?
of me is cool?
Why am I cool? Tell me why.
I mean, I know.
Yeah, I mean, she knows why she's cool, but be very intentional. So like Erica really helped. I wasn't feeling well last week. She helped take over some of my projects. Like, I really appreciate her for that. And then the next person will go. And so that boosts this happy brain chemical of oxytocin. But what it's also doing is actually building trust between you and that other person. And it's mutually beneficial. So you doing it actually increases your oxytocin, and them receiving that recognition increases their oxytocin too. So the peer-to-peer recognition is always beneficial to both parties involved. And I think listening to it just helps you, when you're in a group setting and you feel that recognition and that love going around, it just makes you feel better. Another way that we've done this is where maybe you just do a shout out in your meeting. You've got like maybe 3 people that have someone they want to recognize in the meeting too. So you can always do that. My caveats to these are to make this feel more genuine, and also don't recognize the same person over and over again. We've been in moments where there's favoritism that just kind of pops up, and it's okay, but we want to check our favoritism. We did a whole episode on that too. Yes. So try not to just keep recognizing the same people. If you're doing that, recognize the person to the right of you. Don't sit in the same spot every time, obviously. Switch it up. Just because you want to build the trust between every member on your team. And the last thing that I want to share with these types of activities is it's really beneficial to do these types of exercises before going into a maybe tougher meeting sometimes. You don't want to blindside people with like, hey, we've got some, fun recognition and you're all getting fired. But like, we want to go into
That's very cruel. That would be very cruel.
That would be terrible. But like, if there is a change that's happening or a tough conversation, you might kind of have to ease into with your team. That building that trust first will kind of help ease the pain a little bit, if you will. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, like I said, but if there's, you're leaving the team or there's someone new coming on, like boosting that trust helps them feel that connection of like, okay, well, I'm not in this alone and we're going to be going through this together. So kind of softens the blow a little bit, if you will. Quick pause, leaders. Here's a leadership development resource courtesy of Monarch Coaching.
The Monarch Leadership Program isn't just another training. It's a full transformation for leadership teams. Through our proven blend of emotional intelligence, communication, and culture-focused development, we help teams build stronger trust, alignment, and connection from the inside out. And here is the thing, lasting change often starts with one leader who's brave enough to advocate for it. If that sounds like you, your voice could be what brings this kind of growth to your entire organization. Visit the link in the description to learn more about the Monarch Leadership Program and how to share this with your company. Transform your culture, empower your leaders, and elevate your organization.
Now back to our conversation.
The second one is dopamine. So this is going to boost your team members' motivation and rewards. So something that we used to do and we still do for ourselves even at Monarch is the small wins tracker. So don't celebrate just those wins at the end of the year when you have a goal about, I don't know, networking with 200 people or maybe having 100 clients and then you celebrate. No, you need to create milestones so your team can notice that there is a progress and they're part of that progress because of them. So if you work in an office, just have a whiteboard, have someone maybe in your team filling them up every week and tracking those milestones. And if you are remote, you can always have something in their email, like a recap email every Friday. Look where we are today. Thanks to you. You do those shout outs, and also you can boost dopamine and oxytocin at the same time. Yeah. And you have like the intentional way of like the why you're boosting that specific thing or why you're recognizing them. So dopamine, a small tracker, is important, and you can accompany that with something that we call the prize wheel. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, even online. If you go to Canva, PowerPoint, you can create it. And we created one, like we actually built one wheel, and depending of like which milestone we would reach and which team member helped us to get there. Or maybe sometimes it's everybody had the opportunity to participate. And it can be like something be creative with the prices. It doesn't have to be always a gift card where you're spending money. Be just very creative with what you can offer. And you're going to do two things. One, when you're like just spinning, that anticipation is starting boosting that dopamine. And then the reward is completely like how you get there and how you boost your dopamine. So you're just creating ways to get to that point. And sometimes we do it in a very easy way. There is so many things that you can do. But this is something that they're gonna, I don't know, kind of like wait for.
Yeah, they anticipate it. We would do we would do weekly meetings. We would meet maybe 3 times a week, I think.
Yeah, we met a lot.
We did meet a lot, I know. But it was a good thing.
Yes,
we needed it, especially when you're a project-based team. Like you do have to have those, you have to meet often because you need to know what the progress is, especially if your due date is like you have a week to do this. We need to know. But anyway, we would do an activity almost every time. I mean, there was always something, even especially on like Mondays, like people dread Mondays, and you get the Sunday scaries and you don't want to go into work. But so one of my goals as being a leader on my team was to make the group meeting, the huddle is what we called it, really fun. And yes, it's going to be business oriented. We're going to have our action plans for the rest of the week, the agenda and everything. But the first 5 minutes were always something fun, like whether it was something as simple as everyone just share what you did this weekend, or it's maybe like share your favorite childhood memory. But we would even do activities. I would set up the craziest stuff. Like I would literally spend my own personal time building things sometimes, just so that you can throw it like the toss a ring into a peg type thing, and if you get it on one, you win a prize. Like silly things like that.
Things that brought us to our childhood.
Yeah,
and we all have that connection. Yes. Yeah. So fun. Yeah.
But yeah, that actually leads us a little bit into the third exercise. And it is the third chemical to boost, which is your endorphins. And obviously having fun and laughing. Laughing is a really great way to boost your endorphins. So if you are able to do something fun on your team and or even tell silly stories or something like that. Like those are always really great ways to boost laughter. Laughter really helps with boosting endorphins. Um, and movement as well is another way. So we are big fans of like dancing, obviously. So Erica and I like to dance. We actually, one of the companies we worked for, they did do dance parties every Thursday. And I think Thursdays were something that it's like not quite the end of the week, but it's long enough into the week where you're exhausted and tired. So having 15 minutes to just listen to good music and dance and kind of feel your feels and then go back to work, you actually have a big boost of endorphins during that, and it makes you more productive. Another thing you can do if you're not a dancer like we are is like desk aerobics or walking meetings. Like go for a walk and have a meeting with someone, especially if you're in person, or just have a walking meeting virtually. Like, okay, I'm not going to Zoom call you. I'm going to phone call you. Let's get our headphones on and we're both going to walk while we're doing this meeting, this one-on-one. Getting your body moving is going to boost those endorphins. It's going to help you feel more energized afterwards and more productive. I like the idea for organizations that have a little bit more of a heavy workload. So like people who are in the medical field, maybe in hospitals, or that work with families, things like that, that you carry a lot of weight in the work that you do. Try your best, if you can, to incorporate laughter and movement into your daily routine with your teams. And sometimes laughter isn't appropriate, so obviously use your discretion for that. But we've worked with people that work in very difficult times, and it's their workload, they take it home with them, and it's very hard to kind of oversee or self-manage sometimes and not take on what you're experiencing with your clients or your patients or whoever that is. So movement and laughter, when appropriate, are super important for those types of roles as well.
Yeah, I think we can always find those times, especially in those type of jobs. And again, we give a lot of responsibility to you as a leader to create those spaces for them, because those are the people that need it the most. And yeah, laughter is something that we all need.
Yes.
And there are a lot of different ways. I remember one of my team members always have that. He always have that jokes, and I couldn't really understand them most of the time.
They mostly resulted in eye rolls, I think, than laughter.
But after you eye roll, you kind of laugh
now.
about it. And it was just very cute and very sudden that he was just like, I have a dad joke. And everybody just like turned around and kind of like share with him. And we love him for that. Yeah. So there are a lot of opportunities to bring that
laughter and the lightheartedness into your day.
We need to. One more for endorphins, share yoga. Necessary, especially if you're sitting on your desk, sometimes 8 hours, 7 hours. Please move. And you as a leader, just Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, literally, some exercises that you can do in your chair. Turn around if you're in the office. If not, even in virtual sessions. Okay, we're going to step back a little bit with our chairs. We're going to stand up. We're going to stretch and just help them to create that routine even every morning. Like just give them some nuggets to boost those happy brain chemicals. Yeah. And they will share and ask them to share those things with their people, their family as well. Because, it's not just for your team members. This is not a secret. We want you to share this with your employees in a way that they can do it with their families as well. Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. And sometimes just another caveat, sometimes watching people touch their toes will make you laugh. So it's always funny. Like for like desk yoga or trying to reach their toes will make you laugh.
Yes.
So that'll boost that chemical as well.
Yes. They overlap. It's not like one thing just boosts oxytocin. They mostly overlap. And you don't have to think like, okay, today I'm just going to boost dopamine. You don't have to think like that, even though during that episode, we kind of like we went deeper into, okay, if your team is approaching a deadline, this is something that you can do to boost that competitive and that, motivational part of the brain. So it is important. It was more strategic. This one is like, just have fun.
Yeah.
We need more fun.
So if there are any of these that really stood out to you that you feel like you're going to implement on your team, let us know in the comments below how it goes. If there's any other ideas that you have that can boost laughter or motivation or energize your people, we would like to know that too. So Share those in the comments below. Of course, if you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe to get more content from us each week here.
Yes, and thank you again to our friends at Velocity for this beautiful, beautiful studio. And we'll see you next week, leaders.
Bye.
Bye.